I have never had a girlfriend, and honestly, I think this has contributed a lot to my success and my career and just how fast I've evolved over the years. I'm not saying I've evolved the fastest compared to everyone else, but I've definitely done very well. Now, some people might do better when they're in a relationship, but I personally, I don't think I would do well in a relationship and be able to work on all these things as well. So, pretty much when I was at high school, I was a crazy person. That is just the best way to put it. I'm ADHD, full of energy. I was always getting in trouble, and it was very hard for me to make friends and meet people and get close to people as well. So, having a girlfriend just wasn't really an option for me. My mind was on other things. I could not give a fuck about it. And when I left school as well, it was pretty much the same thing. I got kicked out of 5 schools and I started working when I was 15 years old. And I pretty much just got into this old school lifestyle already. I was around all of these older people that was pretty much just hustling and making money. And I would hear all these stories about what's going on in their lives and their partners as well. So to me, it just wasn't something that interested me. I was so keen on making my career first, making sure money was first, and just living the life I wanted. And it was probably the best thing I ever did was making sure I wasn't fixed on getting a girlfriend and chasing women. And that was my main focus compared to a lot of other men. I feel like they've made that their main focus over the years and it probably hasn't turned out great for them. I don't think I'll have a girlfriend anytime soon either. I think I am enjoying the single life and I am working towards my goals, working towards my career, and just upgrading, upskilling myself as a person as well. I definitely can operate on my own and I feel a lot better on my own. I'm an introvert at heart. I like staying home. I like getting my things done. I like sitting behind this computer and working hard towards my goals. That is like my most exciting thing to do. It is literally my birthday today, and I'm here making videos. I'm doing work behind the computer, and I couldn't care less if it's my birthday, really. I just want to hustle and keep putting content out there and stuff like that. And I feel like having a girlfriend kind of distracts you from your goals or your life in some type of way. Now, not every girl is going to distract you, but most is, and it's just another distraction. I consider everything that isn't work a distraction. Watching sport, watching Netflix, chasing women. I feel like lust has defeated a lot of men, and it has kind of destroyed their dreams in some type of way, where they've given up on them or they've just chosen that life compared to chasing your dreams and working on your goals. When I'm obviously the other way. I want to make sure that I put my career, my business, and my life first. And I achieve everything and anything that I put my mind. I feel like that'll get masked if I have a girlfriend, and I pretty much won't be able to achieve all of these things because I'll be so fixed on making sure she's okay, or she or we have a good time, or we go out to dinner and we do all of these nice things. Now that might not be the case. Now that might not be the case for every girl or every person that has a relationship, but I just feel like that's for me personally. Also, I'm a numbers person. I add up all of the positives and negatives of things, and to me, there are more negatives that can go wrong in a relationship than positives, in my personal experience, and this is just how I've grown up as well. I didn't grow up in a household where both parents were still together. They split when I was a kid. I pretty much was in a broken home my whole life. So I've never seen my mother kind of have a partner for a long period of time. She had another partner later on down the track when I got older, but obviously that split up as well. And seeing all of that unfold while you're young kind of teaches your brain, okay, this might not be the right thing for people or might not be the right thing for me either. I'm not saying this is how everyone is, but this is just how I think personally and how I've kind of held myself over the years as well. Now, it doesn't mean I meet women and I enjoy my time and get to know them. It's just I won't get close. I won't want to. I don't get close. I don't get close to anyone. Um, that is a personal preference on my own doing because I just don't want to rely on people. I don't want to make sure that people's attention is there for me to have. I just want to make sure that I'm good on my own terms. I don't need to make sure anyone's there and helping me out. To me, it doesn't really bother me if I go through life on my own. As long as I'm working towards something great and it really does excite me, that's all that really matters. Now, my number one priority is obviously my family as well. My mother is the first woman that'll come first compared to anyone else, and that is just how I've always kind of been. This has been a personal preference for so long, and I've kind of just stuck with it. It's what I've gotten used to living like as well, peaceful, on my own terms. And I'm not saying all men should do this and all men should not have a girlfriend. This is just how I've thought over the years and how I kind of understand. Now, everyone's obviously different. They might do better while they're in love and they have another partner. I probably cannot even talk about that really because I've never had a partner, so I don't know if I'd do better or worse. But I just know whatever I'm doing is working right now and I should just stick to it. I shouldn't really change or deviate from the plans I already have. I should just be content and just be happy with the life I'm living right now. This doesn't mean that I've never extremely liked a woman. I don't think I've ever been in love, but I definitely have liked women where I wanted to spend more time with them or get to know them more. But obviously things didn't really work out, or it just never got to that stage where I wanted to be in a relationship or anything. I've always kind of just off-put it and just never really been interested. Now, who knows? Some woman could come by and that could change my whole life. But at this stage and point in time, it's definitely not an option. Like my business, my career, and all of these things come first compared to anything else. And this is just how I'm going to live for the next few years. Now, I couldn't give a fuck. That's just me being honest. It really doesn't bother me if I go through life on my own. As long as I'm getting things done, that's all that really matters. You know, throughout school, I was just a wild card. No one would really get close to me. Or I found it hard to make those connections and be friends with people. Even till now, it's still the same. I'm just on my own buzz and I enjoy my own company and I'm working on things that is extremely exciting, but people just don't understand that I don't crave human attention for my personal life, or on social media it's a little bit different. I'm working towards something, so obviously human attention on that is views, people that follow you, subscribe or whatever. It's a little bit different. I guess this is more so for a documentation of my life and my personal brand and my business as well, so it can't really compare. In real life, I'm just happy to chill, bro, be on my own terms. I'm at home right now. There's no one else home, and I love it. I'm like at peace. It is just comfortable. I do whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, and I don't really need to check in with anyone. I don't need to tell anyone I'm doing things or doing this or doing that. I can just do whatever I want, whenever. Now, even though I've never had a girlfriend, probably the question on people's mind is like, are you ever going to get married? Are you ever going to have kids? Now, I couldn't really give a fuck if that never happens. I am not fussed. I'm pretty happy with the life I'm living right now and the things that I'm working towards. As long as I keep smashing my goals and I'm working towards something, that's all that really matters in my eyes. Like, you can go through life and not do any of that and still be happy. I've met people that have never settled down and had kids or anything, and they're like 40 years old or whatever. And they live a pretty solid life, bro, and they just go travel, they do whatever they want to do. Some of them are business owners as well, and they've become very successful. Now, I'm not completely off-putting those options. I think it is a possibility that I might change my mind later on. I always have a very open mind when it comes to those sorts of things now, a lot more than compared to when I was young. I was very close-minded. I feel like as you grow as a person, certain things change, and this could possibly change as well. But I know at this point in time in my life, it is just not an option. I could, it doesn't really interest me, and I've never really thought about it that much. I'm turning 24 today, and to never have a girlfriend at the age of 24, I think is pretty crazy. There's a lot of people that have already had like one or two relationships already at that age. Some people haven't had any relationship up to that age as well. There is very few people that is probably in the same position as I am right now. Now, I'm not counting those little 1 week girlfriends that you had at high school or whatever. that stuff that just didn't last long at all or wasn't really a thing. I did have one or two of those when I was at school, but that definitely wasn't, how other people have had relationships where it's been years and years and years, or even half a year. To me, that is such a long time to spend time with someone. I haven't seen my family properly in like 3 or 4 years, man. I've only spent probably half a week or a week with them in the last 3 or 4 years. So to me, it's crazy. So I'd see my girlfriend or randoms or people that I work with a lot more than my own family. So I'm pretty okay with being alone and doing my own thing on my own terms. That doesn't really faze me. I'm enjoying it. And that's all that really matters. So if you're happy and you've never had a girlfriend, then that's all good. It is a dangerous thing as well, loneliness. You don't want to be old and lonely, everyone always says. I haven't really thought that deep into it because I don't know if I'll make it to old age. I live a pretty hectic life. I always get in some pretty hectic situations as well when it comes to, living on the edge, jumping out of planes, going traveling or whatever, which is eventually what I want to do later on down the track and focus on that a lot more. Getting a Harley, all of these things that could possibly go wrong where I might not even make it there. So I'm not even going to plan or think about it right now. I know my little vision and what I need to work towards, and that's all that really matters. But yeah, 24 today, and I've never had a girlfriend. So pretty hectic. Maybe it's a topic that I can't really speak on because I've never experienced it. But in my eyes, if you haven't experienced something, you won't miss it. So it's probably a good thing. I take that concept into trying drugs or drinking alcohol or smoking. If you haven't done it frequently, then you won't miss it if you've never tried it. And there's other things that I've never done or never been into as well. And it's just a personal preference at the end of the day. It's so I have a clear vision, tunnel vision of what I want to achieve and what I want to do, and nothing can really break that barrier. But yeah, never had a girlfriend.